Filppula gets the game winner, and Brian Eilliot shuts the door as the Flyers go into Toronto and come away with a 4-2 victory. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Patrick Glenn, and welcome back to the Orange and Black Attack. Sorry I took the last couple of games off. Wasn't really feeling too well. I did catch the games, and yes, I was just like the majority of fans out there. I was angry at the referees in that Ottawa game, but the Flyers do rebound this evening with a 4-2 victory up in Toronto. They held the Toronto Maple Leafs power play in check, as great goaltending by Brian Eilliot and a solid 60 minutes of hockey for the Flyers. Did play some bad hockey there a little bit, but they did play a solid game tonight, which is what they needed to do to come away with the victory. Let's get into this hockey game as the Maple Leafs would strike first as Nelson Kadri would get on the board, get the puck past Brian Eilliot, who was in goal for the Flyers this evening. But the Flyers would strike back as Scott Laughton is able to find Brandon Manning, and Brandon Manning is able to wrist the puck past Frederik Andersen to tie the game up at 1. Flyers again would strike later in the period as Jake Voracek would put the puck past Frederik Andersen as Jake is finally starting to play a lot better. I don't think he's gripping his stick as much. Helping to get that first goal in Ottawa the other night is going to, I think, help Jake's confidence as he's able to get the Flyers a 2-1 lead. We go into if they would hold that lead going into the second period, the Flyers would get a power play. They're only one in a game, and Valtteri Filppula would give the Flyers a 3-1 lead as he's able to wrist one past Frederik Andersen. Not too long after that, the Maple Leafs would get it one closer as Nelson Kadri gets his second of the game, and but the Flyers would keep fighting as Claude Giroux was able to put the Flyers up 4-2, and that'll be the rest of the scoring as Brian Eilliot the rest of the way would shut the door. But the Flyers do come away with a 4-2 victory tonight, a well-deserved win after they've been struggling the last couple of games. That game against Anaheim was brutal, and then that game against against Ottawa was just heartbreaking because the referees did not help the Flyers at all in that game. Get into the stats of the hockey game. Shots on goal, 30 for the Flyers, 30 for the Maple Leafs, so pretty even on that mark. Face-off percentage, the Flyers, I think this is the first time they've lost the majority of the face-offs. So 52% for the Maple Leafs, 48% for the Flyers. The power plays, Flyers only had one, but they were able to connect, but they kept the Maple Leafs off the board. They went 0 for 3. The penalties in minutes, 6 for the Flyers, 2 for the Maple Leafs. Giveaways, 15 for the Flyers and 20 for the Maple Leafs. So it was a pretty chippy game where they were giving the pucks away. Your goal scorers, Manning, Voracek, Filppula, and Giroux for the Flyers. And Nelson Kadri gets the only goal for the Maple Leafs. Gets the only 2 goals for the Maple Leafs as he played a strong game for them. Day off tomorrow. Then they're right back at it. Monday night, as the Arizona Coyotes come to town, the Coyotes, Rick Tocchet and that team, they're just struggling. They're 0-9-1. I don't see Tocchet having a job much more longer if they continue to slide like the way they're sliding. But just got to continue to play solid hockey. We got a lot of games coming up against the Western Conference now. The next 4 or 5 are against the Western Conference, and just got to play solid hockey. It's better to be 6-5 at 11 games in the season instead of like 2-6-2, or 2-6-3, or something along that lines, like we've been in the last 5 years. So it's good to play solid hockey here for the most part in the season. Like I said, day off tomorrow as the Arizona Coyotes come to town. It's 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That game is on NBC Sports Philadelphia for those who live in the Philadelphia area. So like I said, Rick has got to play solid hockey. My friends, good night and good hockey.